morning, friends. My name is Mahesh Shah. Today we are going to study about economics and introduction. In this chapter, we are going to study about the meaning of economics, Indian thought of economics, development of economics in Western countries, economic activity and non-economic activity, microeconomic, presentation information of economic, importance of statistical information, then after some requisite aspect of collecting statistical information and presenting, then after presenting quantitative numerical and information in diagram and graph, and in last importance of economy. So friends, human beings are intellectual creatures, and thus they are able to group and distinguish and examine their surrounding and environment. To ensure a happy living, they have created various institutions like the social, political, and economical system. In order to understand such system significantly, sustain them over a long period of time, and to resolve the complexities in which in such system human beings formulated certain principles based upon various philosophies and science. But what do you think about the prehistoric or early historic period? At that time, human beings find the solution of different matter, different complexities by entering feuds, fights, and battles. However, with the development and progress of civilization, human beings were able to logically solve differences and complexities of life by creating and using philosophical principles. And economics developed as a philosophy and science of rational economics behavior. Now, meaning of economics. What is the meaning of economics? By Indian thought, the word economy is Arthashastra. This Arthashastra, which is derived from Sanskrit word earth here, which is derived from earth, this one, meaning purpose or goal, and thus Earth Shastra in Sanskrit means the science of benefit and purpose in practical life. We all know that we are a bundle of wants. So in Arthashastra is described that the purpose of human behavior is to seek benefit. Now in English word economics is derivative from the Greek word oikonomos. Greek word oikonomos here. Oikos means households and nomos means management, and hence economy means management of household. This. Now first we understand about the concept of Indian economy. So the history of Indian culture is almost more than 5,000 years old, and thus Indian philosophy depicts various aspects of human lives and provides insight into a way of life. The four Purusharth means Purposes of humans. Purposes of humans as per the Indian philosophy are dharma means the duty, earth means the benefit or wealth, kama means the desire, and moksha means the liberation. And the activity of the life done for earth means wealth or the benefit are the subject matter of economic. It means that whatever the activity we are doing for the wealth or the benefit, that is that thought is the creator of whole economy. As per the economy, the activities are divided into two groups. First is economic activity and another is non-economic activity. So that we discuss after this point, but initially what is called economic activity. So an activity done with the purpose of obtaining some benefit is called an economic activity. It means whatever the work is done for some kind of benefit, that is called economic activity. And it is one of the four goals or duties of a human beings to create wealth as a means of living and for material pleasure. In other words, perform activity for benefit. That is one of the purusharth which is mentioned in Indian philosophy. Dharma, kama, moksha and earth. So the earth, that is benefit. 2500 years ago, Kautilya, who is also known as the Chanakya, discussed in his book Arthashastra the purpose of economic activity undertaken by a state and a society. He described everything, that what is the duty of the state, what is the duty of the citizen of the state. According to Kautilya, the intention of a human being is earth. Kautilya thought that the main intention of our life is to earn maximum wealth. At that time, the earth is considered as the piece of land which has human settlement. And thus, the science explaining the purpose and utility of wealth creation on earth is called economy as per the Kautilya Chanakya's thought. Now, in Western country, what kind of philosophy developed for economy? So that first prescribed by the Greek philosopher Aristotle. He described his view on economy in his book Oikonomika. However, with the advent of industrial revolution, just as division of labor and specialization were introduced in the industrial sector, where a piece of work is done by a worker or a group of workers who specialize only in that particular job. The knowledge of philosophy also started getting classified into various specialized science, and this is how the philosophy becomes a science. Now, like the physical sciences, the social science also developed a specialized branch, and their methodology were no longer based purely upon descriptive logic, but this science started applying scientific tools and methods. It was not only described, but it was proved also by some kind of scientific tools and methods and principles. Hence, studying purposeful human activity was not solely a subject matter of political or social philosophy, but it also developed as an independent science. And this is how the economy developed as a subject. And pondering upon the creation of wealth, Adam Smith, who was known as the father of economy, wrote in 1776 a book titled An Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of Wealth of Nation. The book is popularly known as The Wealth of Nation. The book name which written by Adam Smith was Wealth of Nation. Keep remember this. With this book, Adam Smith is known to have pioneered the development of economics as a specialized area of knowledge in the West. Industrial revolution created a new socio-economic way of life. Socio-economic means the economy which studied society. That is called socio-economic way of life and new method of wealth creation with the introduction of machines and huge investment in means of mass production. So earlier people engage only in agriculture activity. After the industrial revolution, different kind of machine, different kind of method invented, and thus the economics find large scope. Now we see the definitions of economy given by the economist of that time. So first definition of economics given by the Adam Smith. According to him, that economy is the study of the nature and here this economy is the study of nature and causes of wealth of nation. Economics studied the exchange of physical wealth produced by labor. Only the exchange of physical wealth is not include any other kind of things into his definition. Adam Smith introduced economics as a social science because on the one hand he studied human efforts and on the other hand his methodology was scientific. Since the time of Adam Smith, economy was studied as an independent science and not as a part of general philosophy. This was the big contribution of Adam Smith. In a way, he talked about human welfare only in his book. Afterwards, Alfred Marshall tried to give a definition of economy. In his book Principle of Economic, keep remember this name also, published in 1819, remember the year, Alfred Marshall defined economics is the study of mankind in the ordinary business of life. It implies that in everyday life people usually seek material well-being only. He focus only on the material well-being. This is the criteria of his definition. Thus, this definition identifies economy as the study of everyday activity of human beings and seeks to explain how well-being is attained from material consumption. This definition is narrow as it talks only about material consumption or material well-being. But it is not enough that the person who have millions of rupees, he becomes happy. Is it? No. Yet it is important as it keeps human well-being at the center of human activity. If the activity done for the welfare of the human, then it is the subject of economy. Afterwards, Lionel Robinson given the definition. What he says that any fields of science deals with a problem question and economics deals with the question. So other science deals with the problems question and economics deal with the question only. How to allocate limited resources. So economics are not giving the idea how to increase the resources. Economics says the allocation of limited resources and which have alternative uses in the satisfaction of recurring and unlimited human wants in order to increase the well-being in a society. Hence, in 1931, Lionel Robinson, in his book Nature and Significance of Economy, gave the following definition. According to him, economics is the science which studies human behavior as a relationship between ends and scarce means which have alternative use. Human wants are unlimited and most wants keep on recurring. So, on the other hand, resources which helps in satisfying human wants are limited and have alternative uses. Hence, economics must deal with the problem of allocation of scarce resources in the satisfaction of human wants to the maximum possible extent. According to Robinson, economics is a positive science and does not prescribe how things should be. It studies how human beings behave and does not deal with how they should ideally behave. Hence, economics does not deal with norms and thus is not a normative science. Definition of economic by Paul Samuelson. In his book Foundation of Economic Analysis, published in 1947, Samuelson defined economy is the study of how people and society end up choosing with or without the use of money to employ scarce productive resource that could have alternative use in produce various commodities over time and distributing them for consumption now or in the future among various persons in the society. It analyzes cost and benefit of improving pattern of resource allocation. And Samuelson talks about choice, allocation of scarce resources, and evaluation of cost and benefit of doing so. So, friends, all definitions in a way commonly point out the economic study human behavior is positive in nature, adopts scientific method and methodology, and thus it is a social science.